Hello guys, and welcome back to this Placement Diaries series. If you haven't seen me before, my name is Lucille. I am a German international student studying psychology as an undergraduate degree at the University of Portsmouth, and I am currently on my placement year. So I'm doing these videos as an installment to take you guys along on my placement journey, share a little bit of insights of what it's like to be on placement, especially as an international student. And today I have a Q&A video for you where I will be answering all your burning questions that you sent to us on Instagram a couple of weeks ago. First, let's get started by introducing you a little bit to the placement that I am currently doing. Hello guys, so let me tell you a little bit about the placement that I'm doing at the moment. So I'm actually doing my placement outside of Portsmouth in Bristol, and I'm actually also at another university, namely the University of Bristol. As a psychology student, we know that research and academia is quite important to the field, and it's something that I was really curious about. So I decided to do my placement as a researcher at the University of Bristol in a topic that I'm quite interested in. And the reason I decided to do this is because it was something that I wanted to try out before graduating, because I wanted to see if this is a career that I could see myself doing longer term. And if you're looking for a placement, I would really advise that you try and think about a career trajectory that you're interested in, but maybe not quite sure about, because this year is the perfect opportunity to really see if it fits for you. And if not, that's completely fine. It's just as important during your placement year to answer the question of what do I want to do as it is to answer the question what don't I want to do. So that is the reason why I decided on this placement. So I'm doing my placement sandwiched as a sandwich year in between my second and final year of studies. So I'm currently in my third year, and I started around the end of summer, and I'm going to be working until the beginning of summer. So I had 2 summer holidays. That might not always be the case. Some placements ask you to already work within the first summer or until the end of the summer before you go into your final year, but that is completely up to the placement provider and you to discuss. Also, not all placements are sandwiched in between the second and the final year, but there are also opportunities to do your placement after your final year, so after you are finished, and then you will graduate once you are done with your placement. Now, let's get on to the main part of the video, which is your burning questions. If I haven't decided on a 4-year course including a placement, can I still do a placement year? So I actually chose the 3-year option for my course because I was very unsure whether I was going to do a placement or not, and ended up changing my mind around my first and second year of university, and that is completely fine. The placement year is an option available to most courses, and as long as it is available to your course, you can still change your mind and end up choosing the 4-year option later on. This is quite easy. You still just go through the regular process of finding and applying and getting a placement, and once you have found a suitable option, you can discuss that with the placements team, and they will be able to change your course like that. This directly leads into the next question, which is, how do we apply for placements? Now, this is a big question, so I'm going to be giving you a little bit of the technical information, and then I'm going to be giving you a little bit of my personal experience. Preparations for placements begin already within your first year. If you're interested, I would really recommend the placement preparation program by our placements team, where you will learn a toolkit and the skills to go through the application process confidently. This is usually after the Easter period. The placements team is also there to support you further alongside your second year as well. There is a jobs board that advertises placements. They can give you support in your CVs and writing cover letters. They also do interview prep within the career service, which is really great and really help you to find something specifically in your sector and field of study. I now want to elaborate a little bit on my personal experience of applying for a placement. So I actually didn't do the first year course, but what I did is sign up to the placement newsletter during my first year to just get an idea of the placements available for psychology, the job descriptions and what they're asking for. And during this time, I really recommend spending some time developing your skills that are usually sought after in the job descriptions for the types of placements you're interested in through, for example, short-term volunteering or part-time work opportunities to really stand out in the application process. Then, during my second year, I applied fairly regularly to the placements that were coming in through the newsletters and on the placements jobs board from the university. This was a great experience, and I would really give you the recommendation of applying to placements first that are not your first choice, just to really get that experience of the whole application and hopefully interview process. There are also some personal tips that I would give, such as really making sure you're tailoring your CV and cover letter to each place you apply. I know that sounds quite strenuous if you're applying for lots of opportunities, which I would also recommend, but it will really help you stand out in the process and ensure you get a spot to be interviewed. Now to my final tip, which actually helped me get my placement, which is to do speculative applications as well. Speculative applications are when you apply to a position or an employer that actually isn't advertising any job positions at the moment. What that shows is initiative and interest in that employer and really helps you stand out. This will not always be successful, as sometimes employers are just not looking for people, but some of the time people are actually taking on placement students even when they don't advertise it, so it's always worth the ask. How did I do this, and how would I recommend going about this? Well, I did a little bit of LinkedIn sleuthing to find some contacts and network with people, but I also just had a big think and chat with the careers and placements team about the kind of placement that I want to do, and after deciding that I wanted to do a research-based placement, I looked at universities and the current projects and emailed supervisors of these projects that I am a current student in psychology, really interested in research, why I am interested in their research specifically, and asking them if they'd like to see my CV and cover letter and if they take on placement students. This actually was successful for my current placement, so I would really recommend doing this as well, as it shows a lot of initiative and interest and that you are an engaging employee and will be a great placement student. Now on to the next question, which is, can I do a placement abroad, and can the university still support me in finding a placement abroad? And the answer to that is absolutely yes. The university will support you just as much finding a placement abroad as they will finding a placement in the UK. And I would really recommend to any students who haven't been abroad yet, for example, home English students, that going abroad is an amazing opportunity, and as an international student, I can tell you it will really build your confidence, your language skills, and it will be an amazing thing to showcase to employers in the future. I will add here that it's important to note that the university doesn't necessarily provide placements, but they support you in your own search. So it's really important that you take the lead on your own placement search and take the responsibility in finding a placement that works for you. There is support available to you, but no one will be able to give you a placement if you don't look for it yourself. And now on to the final question, and one of the most asked questions I get, which is, would you recommend a placement? And my answer to that is also absolutely yes. I completely understand and emphasize with the fact that placements can be difficult monetarily or financially, or also a big time investment. But if you have the opportunity, and also again, the university has avenues of support available to you, and I would really recommend chatting to the placement team, especially if you're unsure about being able to do a placement because of certain reasons, which was also why I ended up deciding to do a 3-year course at the beginning, because I was unsure whether I was able to do a placement or not. And then I just ended up having a chat with the placements team, and I figured out a way that works for me. So even if you're unsure, I would still really recommend at least looking through avenues of support available to still do a placement. Now, why would I recommend doing a placement? Well, a placement again is an amazing opportunity to really discover different careers and different skills that you maybe didn't even know you had, but it's also an amazing opportunity to really see if the career that you're entering during your placement is something that you can see yourself doing longer term. And that will save you a lot of disappointment and a lot of time after graduating if you end up finding out that it might not be something that you're interested in. And this is just as valuable a lesson as finding out that this is a career that you want to follow up on. And if you do end up deciding that this is the career for you, you will have great networking opportunities during your placement that will benefit you so greatly in your job search later on, as you will be open to opportunities that you might not have received had you not had these networking opportunities. And of course, it will give you an amazing time developing your skills that are relevant to the field and will make you stand out in any graduate role application processes. So yes, I would absolutely recommend doing a placement, and if you need any further information or have any more questions, please check out this link. This is also in the description box below, and I wish you all the best of luck and the best of time on your placements. Until next time.